Makes sense. Makes sense. Adrian, I wanted to ask because alluded to, everything is toxic now. Kind of what Pierre's saying, right? You can't say shit. Obviously, the Karen movement. We took advantage of it after God bless the dead. They killed George Floyd. I know I took advantage of it. People were scared to bother black people. In that what 5 month span, you know. So but is it going too far with calling everything toxic? Masculinity's toxic, right? Cancel culture. Like, is this shit like too normal now to where it's being detrimental?
Yeah, definitely. It's where everything is fake. Everything is watered down. You gotta be, and then it's like even with people who trying to rise, like you trying to build your brand, you trying to take care of your family. So you gotta be mindful of so many different things to where it's like, hey, if you want to be successful, this is the path that you have to follow to a T, and else or else you're not gonna be successful. If you offend anybody who like gay or transgender, like it's a wrap. We're gonna try to kind of take you out of there. So it's definitely watered down, and we just need people who are like nobody's true to themselves anymore. People so quick to bend to every little thing. That's why I rock with you, Han, since forever. Because one thing about you, you're gonna be the same no matter what, no matter what. But a lot of people are not like that, man. They will bend quickly. We are so afraid to offend people, and I don't even know how we get back. I don't even know if it's even possible. I think with social media and like the lack of privacy that we have now, so your eyes are always on you. You're always being like recorded, or so much information is constantly being like put in your face that I don't even see if as a whole if we ever get back to that to where we see more genuineness when people are not afraid to be who they are and stand on their own morals and principles and not be willing to just bend the things because society says we have to.
I think you got to have people taking a stand, man. Like Dave Chappelle's last stand up.
He said what he
Fuck
said.
it. Like you got to be able to. I'm gonna stand on it. It's what I said. It's how I feel. I'm not being offensive. It's just how I view things. My opinion. But once you start having people be unapologetic about it, then it'll trickle down. But that has to come from somebody with some influence or something like that, right? And in a way where it's genuine, where it's not derogatory. But the emotional state of people, its sensitivity levels are rising. I mean, you got potentially speech legislation on what you can and can't say in the near future, right? Like that's the only way to get past that is to have somebody unapologetic, just giving it up genuinely and not in a negative way, trying to deteriorate another person or something like
Yeah. I wish we can get back to where it's kind of okay to feel how you feel. Um, but we cannot voice all of our opinions, and that's why I named it. This might be risky because any little thing. We had a video that got flagged because we mentioned the jab, right? From what we talked about can't P, I'm trying to articulate it, but you can't like say the words, about people got sick and then will we remedy it if they didn't have the jab, right? So right, because it
Yeah, you're definitely being regulated, right?
Yeah.
So
mm-hmm,
we know that everything's being regulated. You can't say certain things because people have a
mm-hmm,
certain agenda. So if you have a platform and now this is your platform, you can't say what you want to say anymore when you're using these social platforms,
I
mm-hmm.
think
which is
it's
new.
a
It's a new experience. Where before, if we had a conversation, you say whatever you wanted. It wasn't being recorded. It's not being regulated, so you can say whatever you want to say. Even if
Yeah,
you're a comedian, you're putting it on VHS. It's not something that somebody has control over. Once it's recorded, that's it. It's on the tape.
yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. But it's ironic, right? Like we're just having a conversation, right? Actually spitting some facts, bringing some opinion, but intellectual conversation, right? And then they're like, "Oh, well, you said something that we didn't like based on what's out there currently, right?" Which was not even true. But then every music video on YouTube, that shit, the Wild Wild West. They
Mm.
doing all. We had to wait for BET Uncut.
yeah.
Remember
Right.
that? The good
Mhm.
days.
Yeah, you be
Walk
waiting.
out.
You be
Mhm.
I
waiting,
ain't got
baby.
no panties on. Come on,
Yeah.
what?
You be
Right.
waiting till with baby oil in your hand and all. know, you could YouTube any video, Pornhub.com, right? Shout out to them. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the
Yeah,
internet
kids
is
have
crazy
access.
now.
Kids have access. Like you had to wait if you had a what is it? Like the box. You had to watch porn through like the little grace, like what
Squigglies,
is it?
yeah.
Yeah, the little squigglies. You
The
might be able
squiggly
to see a
lines.
little
What? See a
something.
little titty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
might see a little something. Like kids can
Channel
now
channel
just have
99.
their phone. Yeah.
I mean, forget
Yeah.
access to it. The kids are recording it and sending it. So I would clearly work in a school. They airdropped a sex tape to the entire school, and like to the
Crazy.
point where the principal, like the staff, had to be like, "Turn this shit off," because we're getting it, and
Yeah.
it's nothing to them. And every time I have to tell one of my young boys, like, "You know this is child pornography, and you can go to jail for that, right?" They're like, "No, we can't."
Yeah.
No, yes, you can. This is child.
Yeah.
You're a child, but this is
They
still
really
child
get you
pornography.
in trouble. Yeah. That's crazy,
Yeah.
man. So final thoughts on generational curses, how we can overcome them. Do they still exist? How about that? Do we agree that generational? Damn, I cannot say that. Alex, say it for me.
Generational.
Damn, you got this
Generational.
shit out. You were just saying acts last week. Okay, you done read a
Listen,
book
listen.
or
Ooh.
My English is where it needs to be, okay?
two. Right. You know, do we all agree that they still certainly exist and still affect us?
They exist, they affect us, they, just be mindful and do what you can to, if you see something that's happening in your family that you don't like, do your best to unlearn that and make better decisions, and that's all we can do.
Yeah. Agreed.